the GameCube. One of the most timeless systems to many, and also a good replacement for a lunchbox. In all seriousness, this console was filled to the brim with a lot of games that many still look to with a high regard. Smash Bros. Melee, Luigi's Mansion, F-Zero GX, the list goes on and on. The library of games has been a staple in Nintendo's collection, and I know for sure a lot of people are super nostalgic for this era in particular. But sadly for me, I never grew up playing a GameCube. I was never super aware of it as a kid and only ever heard of it through friends in school and an old birthday party I went to back then. I guess I was just super content playing my Game Boy and skipped out on the home console of that generation without even really being aware of it. However, we aren't here to delve into every GameCube game. We're here to delve into one particular game on the GameCube library. That game being the second best-selling GameCube game of all time, Mario Kart Double Dash. Mario Kart Double Dash was released on November 17th, 2003 in the US for the GameCube. The game sold extremely well, and as I mentioned earlier, is in fact the second best-selling game in the whole system's library, selling over 6.96 million units in total, which wasn't that far behind the iconic Smash Bros. Melee. This was an iconic game in the library, and despite me not playing it back then when it was at its prime, I really love, and have loved, this game for quite a while. Before I let Sporadic tackle the new features, I wanted to talk about something super neat about this game. The bonus disc. This disc was included in Mario Kart Double Dash, and it was filled to the brim with demos to try from various games. Some major ones being Mario Party 5, F-Zero GX, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, and a whole lot more. This little disc is something I never got to own myself, but I would love to get one just for the sake of it being a part of Nintendo's history. The appeal to demo discs to me goes way back, and this game was already really great without its inclusion, but knowing it even exists gives some extra points in my book.
Double Dash, the first of the major game changers in the whole series. This piece of work had a bunch of new shit this time around, so where do I even start? The items. This game introduced a few items that made names for themselves as series staples. Some of them started out as items that can only be obtained depending on who exactly you played as. For instance, the Wicked Wario Brothers had bob-ombs that they threw around like it was freaking confetti, and Toad and Toadette both had the ever so elusive and ever so beloved Golden Mushroom. Those are the major two items that made serious names for themselves, and they've been part of the main lineup ever since. Most of the character-specific items didn't really make the cut, and were kept exclusive to this one particular game. Some of them were just bigger, badder versions of the normal items, like the hell-raising Bowser shells, tossed about by Bowser and Bowser Jr. These were powerful enough to send opponents tumbling back a bit as if they were hit by a chain chomp, or later down the series, a bullet bill. Another big bad special item was the giant bananas, thrown about by Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, probably after they finished eating them up. Yoshi and Birdo had green and pink colored eggs that, if launched forward, acted as homing shells, and when cracked open, they released 3 items. Either a mushroom, a green shell, a banana peel, a bob-omb, or, if you're lucky enough, even a star can be revealed from those eggs. There are other items that have their own specific abilities, but if I listed them all, this script is going to take quite a while for Virtual to edit all.
Characters? Did someone say that? Well, I hope so, cause that's what I'm covering here. Mario Kart Double Dash is filled with characters you expect from a typical game in the franchise. But in this title, each character has now been put into teams, so each character slot looks like this. So each cast member being separated into teams, in my honest opinion, really makes the selection feel more unique in a way. Like being able to play as 2 characters and be able to switch between them while racing really appealed to me early on, and even now. Each of the weight classes still exist, but are now separated into 3 categories instead of more, those being light, medium, and heavy. Characters like Koopa and Paratroopa are in the lightweight category, Daisy and Peach in the medium category, and Bowser and Donkey Kong are in the heavyweights. I also need to bring up the unlockable characters. Toad and Toadette are the first unlockable team you get by completing the Special Cup in 100cc. So, fairly simple. The last team you unlock in this game were Petey Piranha and King Boo, arguably my favorite. These two were unlocked by beating the Star Cup in 150cc Mirror Mode. Also, can we see Petey Piranha come back at some point? Come on. These characters were really neat honestly, and helped fill out the roster nicely in my opinion. There were more things to unlock than just characters though. If only I remember what it was. Oh, yeah, carts.
The kart selection. The game that introduced more karts than just the ever classic pipe frame. I gotta say, there's quite a bit this time around. No surprise, there was one kart for every single character in the game, plus one. All of the unlockable karts can be attained by getting gold trophies. Literally, that's it. Just get gold trophies. A few of them were just recolored carbon copies with slightly different stats. Take the Red Fire for instance. It's one of the few cars that has even stats across the whole board, but its identical twin, the Green Fire, has a slightly higher speed stat at the cost of a slower acceleration. The only cars that aren't carbon copies are the ones where the pairs are in different weight classes. Wario and Waluigi have completely different karts, the Wario car and the Waluigi racer. Such original kart names, I know. DK and Diddy Kong have different karts as well, both bearing the DK Jumbo and the Barrel Train. Bowser and Bowser Jr. have different karts as well, both owning the Koopa King and the Bullet Blaster. That's pretty much it. It may not look like much, but to be honest, there were some major differences that I've both reveled in and regretted across all the courses. And I say that as someone who's been playing this game for almost 10 years and 100% of the game 3 separate times. Or was it more than that? Either way, usually the acceleration is the game changer more often than not for me. Again, no surprise there. Mario Kart Double Dash's course lineup is what many would call memorable. Others would say it's the most recognizable from a glance. I would love to go to town and describe them all in very exquisite detail, but I won't. I'd take all day. I've got the Mushroom Cup and the Special Cup this time around. Again, I'll keep this brief. Luigi Circuit is up first in the Mushroom Cup, as well as every single All Cup tour played the world over. This two-way street course has a wall in between on 50cc, but in the other classes that wall is gone and the fight is on. Beware of the chain chomp on the side of the track as well. Peach Beach is up next, and returning from Super Mario Sunshine, them damned Cataquacks are back to cause great annoyance to anyone who dares run this course. If you know how to dodge them, well, congratulations. Just don't drown yourself at the same time. Baby Park is a course known to weed out the weak and separate the children from the adults. 7 laps of this course, and anything goes. If it weren't in the middle of an amusement park, I genuinely think there would have been a betting pool on who doesn't make it out alive. Dry Desert is last up, and it actually has off-road sides that can be driven upon. If you're not careful though, you're gonna get swept up by either the twisters, or do they call them twisties, the pokies, or the quicksand halfway throughout the track. I hear some people refer to it as the toilet, and honestly, the name just stuck.
The second cup in this list is the Flower Cup. Mushroom Bridge is the course you start off with here, and I really hope you enjoy driving in traffic. This course is taking place on a busy city street with lots of fun shortcuts to take, like driving on the top of the bridge itself. I love courses that take place in bustling cities, so personally, this is a great track. Mario Circuit is up next, and would you believe it? This is the very first Mario Circuit course where you actually get to drive around the castle. After this, it became a staple, but for this game, it was the very first. The track in general is fairly simple and honestly a blast to play. Daisy Cruiser, also known as one of my favorite courses in Mario Kart. The fact this game lets you drive on a boat that Daisy owns is fun enough, but the overall layout of the track makes it super memorable to me. From the moving tables and chairs in this room to the actual shortcut that you get to go through, it all just feels amazing. Also, fun fact, on Peach Beach you can actually see a distant look at the boat you race on in Daisy Cruiser. Just a neat little touch. Waluigi Stadium is truly a course I remembered not fully enjoying back then. but now I am enjoying it more than ever for some reason. My perspective on this course was a little skewed because I was coming from Mario Kart DS, which has Waluigi Pinball, but the course by itself is really great and I really can't say much else honestly. It's a fun off-road course with a lot of interesting obstacles, and with frantic items, the results will be even more interesting. The third cup is the Star Cup, and we have quite a lot of tracks here. Let's start off with a nice and chilly track known as Sherbetland. This course has become a favorite to race on in Double Dash and has a really nice wintry atmosphere. The music and the way the course layout is set up really make me glad to race on this track at any season. Plus, I mean, look at the Shy Guys. They're ice skating. It's adorable. It's time to head to the city. Which city? Mushroom City. This course is probably the best one to race in co-op, and I absolutely love the nightlife city vibe this course gives off. Mushroom Bridge is fantastic, but this course hits different. I have so many great moments from playing this track, and would love to see this course make a return in a future title. I know we might have Moonview Highway, but come on, Mushroom City, Yoshi Circuit, a course that is shaped, well, like a Yoshi. The course is full of sharp turns and a lot of piranha plants ready to knock you down. It's a great course to learn drift timing on, and honestly, is super peaceful despite the chaotic nature of Mario Kart. You can also see the Daisy Cruiser from this course as well. The last course from this cup is DK Mountain, the course that introduced the cannon into Mario Kart. This drive up the mountain is so memorable to me, and my first time into this course in general was oddly enough the port on Mario Kart Wii. This track has stood the test of time even in Double Dash, and between its music and extremely fun setting, it's no wonder I had so much fun racing on it. It's a very unique track, and I still love it to this day.
The first Special Cup track is big, bold, abrasive, and not to be taken lightly at first, just like its owner. It's Wario Coliseum, baby! My personal favorite track in this game only has 2 laps to it. Unfortunately, in my case. If you're looking to learn how to pull continuous drifts, this track is great for it, second only to Yoshi Circuit in my honest opinion. Next up is Dino Dino Jungle, a prehistoric track that doesn't leave a whole lot of walking room for the lone dinosaur there. And no, I'm not talking about Yoshi. This track can be quite punishing if you don't have the layout and the physics down packed. Trust me. Bowser's Castle is up next after that, and for the only time in the series, running into the thwomps actually makes you spin out. It also debuts a giant stone Bowser statue, and if you don't time the fireballs just right, you're not going to make the regular shortcut. And there's also a respawn glitch here as well. It's only really used in time trials and it requires a mushroom, but if you land it just right, you'll respawn about a little more than halfway through the track. Also, here's a shower thought. You'll hear Bowser's evil laugh every time you get hit with an item or spin out or fall off the track. Now, get this. If you play as Bowser a lot of the time, like I myself do, wouldn't that technically mean Bowser is laughing at his own failures? Who knows? Rainbow Road. Oh boy. This one is the hardest in my honest opinion to navigate. They say that there are invisible bumps on the upward spiral to punish anyone who drifts on that section. It is possible to run this course without falling off. Those are nights where there aren't any shooting stars forecasted though. Coincidence? I think not. If you want to run through all the tracks but don't want to have to go through all the menus 3 separate times, enter the All Cup Tour. This amalgamation scrambles all 16 of the tracks and loads them into one giant-ass Grand Prix. Luigi Circuit always comes first, Rainbow Road always comes last, and everything else is completely and totally randomized. This takes a good about 35 to 45 minutes to beat in one go, depending on item luck and general skill of the tracks in the game itself, but getting a full 160 points is always so satisfying.
Battle mode is great. It's the most fun I have had in the mode right next to DS, and I oddly enough love each and every course this mode offers. I had vague memories from playing this mode on an emulator, but when scripting, I actually played the mode properly for both research and footage. but I ended up having a blast and wanting to keep playing even after the recording was done. This time around there are 3 modes to play: Balloon Battle, where you shoot the other player with items like shells and even the special items to knock all the balloons away. Fairly straightforward stuff, but super enjoyable. The next mode is Shine Thief, where you try to hold the shine until its timer runs out. It's basically like a game of keep away that was enough to get me hooked. And I really do mean hooked. It's addicting. The last mode, and probably my favorite in this game, is Bob-omb Blast. This mode is legit just throwing bob-ombs at your opponent. That's it. Normal item boxes? Nope. Only bob-ombs. This quickly became my favorite mode. Even though I just said Shine Thief was, let me just retract, this is my favorite mode, and I absolutely loved it. Each of the courses offered in this time around in the battle mode are all pretty neat too. My personal favorite of the batch being Tilt-A-Kart in the GameCube. In Tilt-A-Kart, you drive on this tilting 8-bit Mario, which can really make all the modes mentioned super interesting. Word of advice: try playing this in Bob-omb Blast together. You will have no regrets, I promise. The next course was the GameCube, and like in the DS course on Mario Kart DS, you drive on the actual system. Huh, who knew you actually get to drive on a lunchbox in Mario Kart? I love the idea of this course alone, and yes, I know it's a simple battle mode track, but something about driving on this floating GameCube in space was super cool, and I honestly would love to see more battle mode courses like this. Maybe in the next Mario Kart you get to drive on a Nintendo Switch. You know, that would be pretty neat.
The time trials are rather self-explanatory. Run a track, record your time, change your combination if need be, and try to break your own record. You start every time trial with 2 mushrooms, one held by each member of your selected duo. If you can afford to pull a shortcut, then by all means pull it off. Learn how certain tracks play. Take notes of how shortcuts are pulled off. Learn a glitch or two if a track has one. And at the ending screen, if you press LR, LR, XY, XYZ in that order quick enough, it will show a certain code for an old Japanese contest that took place in early 2004, a couple months after the game came out. There were codes for every track, but only 4 of them were used for the actual contest: Luigi Circuit, Baby Park, Mario Circuit, and Yoshi Circuit. Amazingly enough, while the top 3 spots for each course were posted on Nintendo of Japan's website, the number 1 spot in all of the 4 courses were swept by one person and one person alone, named Tagaki Nobuo.
Mario Kart Double Dash was a wonderful game for its time, and still is now. I never grew up playing this title, and in fact, look back at my past self with a bit of regret. This game is so innovative with its features and overall gameplay. It made Mario Kart even more refreshing, and I feel as if this game is very important to not only the GameCube library, but to the Mario Kart series as a whole. Playing through this game a while back really made me realize how, despite going backwards in these videos, I am still loving each title a lot, and replaying each of these games is like playing a brand new entry in the series in a weird way. Point being, I really enjoy Mario Kart Double Dash for what it is, and would love to see certain characters, karts, and even the team driving mechanic return in some shape or form. A lot of the new ideas found here really define this game, and I would love to see them fleshed out in a future title. Who knows? Maybe Mario Kart 9 might include the team racing as a mode or something. Well, with that all said, be safe, and remember to stay hydrated. Thanks for watching.